evening all, and welcome Northwest Kit Car Owners Group members and all at 7 Spot. Tonight we're going to be talking about carbon, and we're not talking about carbon footprint. We're talking about carbon goodies. So we've got a couple of members here, so if you want to introduce yourself, just say hello and what you're about, and we'll go from there.
Go on, Paul. You go first.
Go on. Well, I'll go first then. I'm Paul Aston. Probably quite a few people know me as MOFAST now, really. So that's who I am. And as John mentioned, we'll talk a little bit about carbon and carbon footprints and stuff, and maybe some environmental awareness as well in the conversation tonight. But yeah, hello everyone.
Well, most people know me anyway. Trevor Harmer, and I run the Northwest Kit Car Owners Group. Paul, quick question for you then. Where did the word or the name MOFAST come from? I
was going to ask that. Yeah, MOFAST, yes.
MOFAST.
Well,
so there's a couple of reasons behind it. Is that what one of the things when we're building the Westfield, one of the things that we spotted was that a lot of people that are making custom parts or upgrade parts for these cars, there was always a lead time. There were, even on Westfield's website, you want to buy a part and there's a 16-week lead time on some parts, and we thought, well, we can do this more faster, and that's kind of where the name came. And also, if you split it into two words, the M and the F, it's a little bit offensive, a little bit rude by as well. Tends to bring out the best Rochdalian in us. So yeah, we just thought, it just had a nice ring to it, and just thought, well, we just want to make people go MOFAST at the end of the day. So that's where that came from.
Now you've explained that. I actually like that name. It's grown on me.
Yeah, and if you think about it, a lot of the products that we make, especially with the customization that we provide on the website as well, it means that you can get exactly the part that you want, and you get it fast as well. So it just resonates. It kind of helps that I owned a branding agency for 12 years, I suppose, but it just kind of came to us one day. We just thought, let's run with that and see where it goes.
Because I've obviously seen some of your products as well. They look absolutely amazing. It's all built in house.
Yeah, well, actually, it's not. So what we do is a lot of the design is in house. That's me and a couple of other people that just enjoy creating things in the 3D world, measuring stuff, designing stuff, and developing things. But then we have a range of manufacturers that we source to do the parts that we want in the best way we possibly can do. So we have one individual that does all our carbon, and he's borderline an artist at the end of the day when it comes to carbon. And we bought lots and lots of carbon from other vendors as well on the journey with our Westfield, and we decided who we thought was the best to start making our kind of like carbon stuff and resell their carbon parts. And then the 3D printed stuff, a lot of that is done down in Cornwall, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And that was a strategic decision over the last couple of months, because the company down in Cornwall have developed a new range of materials that are essentially 100% recycled. Because when we got into the 3D printing side of things, we realized how environmentally bad it was, actually.
Mainly plastic and that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. And in particular, the resin processes as well. If you use a resin 3D printer, whilst that gives you the best fidelity product, the chemicals and the resins involved are just horrendous, really, when you follow the supply chain back. So we're working with a company down in Cornwall that creates a carbon fiber infused nylon that is 100% recycled. So the carbon is crushed up carbon fiber, and the nylon is recycled from various sources down in Cornwall.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Really interesting.
Well, what's real and what's ultra interesting about it is it's incredibly durable as a material, and it will withstand about 200 degrees C.
Wow.
So
we'll never get to that temperature in this country.
Well,
not an Evesham, it won't.
Over the optimist, but I don't see it somehow.
Certainly not an Evesham.
But if you think about applications, I mean, you know, our velocity stacks we've done for quite some time now because we can just about get away with the material that we used. But now with the new materials that we're bringing in, we can 3D print whole inlet plenums with this, and that's something that you'll probably see coming soon. Imagine
Wow.
paying 60 to 80 quid for a DCOE inlet manifold that's printed out of nylon carbon.
Wow,
that's madness.
Yeah.
And we can do some really fancy things with induction then, of course, because we can make variable induction systems, all kinds of stuff, because we can handle the heat that tends to be trapped under a bonnet.
Well, one of the things I found quite interesting is there's a chap I was speaking to who was a friend of a friend who actually worked with Red Bull in the Formula One team. And he said that the major benefits they've gained in power over the last 10 years is to do with the induction more than anything else. And that really surprised me because I didn't realize how important the induction system is going into the pistons and everything else, and how it mixes and so forth, the lengths, widths, the way it's actually designed. And that's where they were making most of their gains in Formula One. It was something that never really crossed my mind that it would be that important.
Oh, I mean, it really comes into its own when you're talking about normally aspirated applications. The harmonics. I mean, this is probably where the word engine tuning comes from. It's the fundamentals of those harmonics and the resonance within inlet runners. There's all kinds of stuff that come into play, like valve timing and things like that. But it is quite a critical thing, and I can always tell a car that's got the wrong induction length on it, especially when they're on throttle bodies. You can spot it a mile off. They don't sing. If you listen to a British touring car of, say, like the 90s era, you'll really hear throttle bodies working very well. They've got a certain ring to them as they're coming past. But a lot of the kit cars that I see, a lot of them run too shorter intake on them, to be fair. But it's horses for courses. Every engine's different. So, but ultimately, with the 3D printing and new materials that we're exploring at the moment, we're getting into the realm of creating OEM quality parts to finish off your kit. Like surround round roll bar entries into bodywork and things like that. And actually, instead of that being machined out of Exotica or aluminium or something like that, we can 3D print these parts exactly to fit an application. I mean, I was with the Scorpion guys today at a meet over near Charlie Way, and they've got a challenge with the windscreen bubble at the moment. Nobody seems to be making them, and nobody's making the cars anymore. So as these get damaged, they're very hard to replace. But I've already started working on a solution for those guys as well. And against the backdrop of the name MOFAST, it kind of encourages us to do it fast as well, because you can't stand there and quote a brand name like that and then be slow. So we're already cracking on with that one as well.
So have you got any examples of what you produce at the minute? I did see on your website that you were shipping out some.
This is one of our velocity stacks. This is a prototype that was used for testing over many months, and
that's 3D printed, yeah.
Yeah, that's 3D printed. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
So
that's nice, guys.
Yeah,
And the thing is as well, just put that closer to the camera once again.
Oh,
what I don't quite get my head around, whenever I've seen anything that's 3D printed, you can actually see the layers. How is that to the point? Do you actually sand it down to make it nice?
Trick.
Or does it come out like that?
Right. Okay. So every 3D part in the world, you're going to get some kind of layering in it because it's the very nature of the process. It's ultimately a fancy inkjet printer that has a Z-axis at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you're always going to see those layers. Now, those layers, you can set those layers to be different thicknesses within the process. So you can say, I would like to have this print printed out with, I don't know, 0.5 of a mil thick layers. Obviously, it feeds faster, moves slower to do that thickness, and the nozzle is higher. But that print will take fundamentally a shorter amount of time to print. So there's a fine balance between how thick you want to run your layers compared to how much time in the printer you want the job to be in there, because time on the print bed is cost at the end of the day, and we want to find a happy balance between the right quality and the right speed for the customer. So it's a very interesting aspect that you've just picked up on there. So what we do is we've experimented with lots and lots of different thicknesses, of course, and we found something that works really well for us. But you can still see the lines. So what we have is we have two different types of processes for polishing the parts. One is the classic vibrational tumbler with a slightly abrasive medium in there. We just drop the parts in and let them vibrate for a couple of hours, and that takes all the lines off. So you end up with a highly polished part. It's just the same kind of polishing process you would find with metal components in a manufacturing workshop.
Yeah.
And then the other one is actually it's a very fine. We use a very fine mist of acetone. And it's like a chemical process. Now, I don't know much about that process. That's my supplier's secret. But they essentially put them into a chamber, and I think it slightly melts the actual face of the object, and then it recures, essentially making a smooth part. So it slightly melts the very top layer.
Yeah, makes sense. They look brilliant. Really smooth.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had more examples. I mean, most of them are on the car at the moment, and we've just done a massive shipment today because we tend to use Sundays for packing things up and shipping them out.
Show us your car.
Excursion rings for going around the.
All right, okay. I'll see if I can grab this. So these are the. Oh, there we go. These are the rings. These are an early prototype, so we've made these thinner now. But it just gives a nice entry into the bodywork.
That just
so happens that I need a couple for the Cobra.
Yeah, and we can do that. I mean, the Cobra, you won't have the complex transition and angle because you'll have 90-degree hoops, I guess.
Yeah, but one of them is a slightly oval shape, because it's slightly elongated because of the shape of the rear boot panel.
So yeah, and the thing that we're really, I suppose, well known for at MOFAST is one of the things that I didn't want to do when I built the car was have the dashboard bolted to the dash panel. I wanted it recessed.
That's nice.
So we do a full range of these recessed ones. We do the Dash 2 range. We do AIM's MXP and MXS range. And this is a two-piece part. So you've got the front bezel here. The dash fits in, and then there's a backing plate as well that clamps to the back of the dashboard. And by bolting into that back plate, it clamps the whole unit together into the dashboard.
I'm liking that. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Another nice one we did was we did the recessed RS232 port. So There's a blanking plate for this that goes over the top, and you can have your own little moniker or logo on it that goes over the top if you wish. And this was because, I didn't want to be pulling the flat down all the time to plug into the ECU. So we moved the ports into this little recessed unit. The reason why this car has three, we have the ECU, and then we have the body control unit, which controls all the lights, and then that's for the dash 2 there.
You got your own port for just controlling the lights. Wow.
Yeah, so we use something called a body logic in this car. It's a product made by Simtech, which is about a mile up the road from our workshop. Now these guys are quite well known for building all the looms for the Paris Dakar cars. They build all the control system for the back mono, and that particular control system, it has no relays or fuses in it. It's very much like a PDU, a really expensive PDU, but a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And it allows us to do our steering wheel units like this, you see. So
cool.
We have,
nice.
Our lights on here.
Yeah.
Different map.
And
that's the MOT map. Slow. And then obviously left, right, horn, flash, hazards are all on there. And it just allows us to create a very, very simple dashboard then, because we keep everything on the steering wheel.
On the steering wheel, that's brilliant. And that's a hardwired steering wheel, yeah. It's not Wi-Fi or.
Well, this one is hardwired. You might be able to see that.
Yeah.
But we also do one with 18 channels, receiver and transmitter as well.
You supply those as well, yeah.
We can do, yes.
Yeah.
They're actually manufactured just up the road from us.
Right.
So Paul, that setup you've got there on your steering wheel, what would that normally set you back as regards to sort of like, if I decided I wanted that on my Super 6, what would what ballpark figure would I be looking at? And obviously every single one's different as regards to what you want on there, but
so for this unit with the buttons in, wired up with a flying lead, we can do that for about 200 quid. That one.
Yeah, sure. That is remarkably cheap.
That is exceptional.
And it's a 2 mil carbon plate on the front, and we don't mess around, because if you can see the back, we put a carbon plate on the back. The thing's fully encapsulated as well, and this again, this one's a really early prototype. So what we've done is we've done 2 versions of this as well. So this is what we call a race spec. So you've got the little twisty knobs on it, but we also do a spec that doesn't have the bottom half on. It's just all the top half.
Mm-hmm.
Just for indicators, flash, horn, hazards, etc. But obviously the control unit you'd want to. The control unit in this car is probably about 600 quid, but most people will probably use the blink stop thing. I would have thought, but the blink stop unit, I can't remember what they call it now. Is it called freewheel? I think, the freewheel unit. Now that unit's an excellent retrofit unit, and we wouldn't advise anybody do our control unit unless you were rewiring the whole car. So to get a freewheel unit, you can use our steering wheel controller if you so wish to do so. But the freewheel guy's doing amazing work as well, and most people will buy it all as a package. We just offer this highly customized version if you want. And we've actually got to the point now where we're doing screen printing on the carbon fiber. So instead of little labels like this, we can have icons that are machined into the face with ink dropped in the recesses, so to make it super, super nice as well.
Wow, and all for 200 quid. That is just
around that. I mean,
depending on the spec, obviously, but that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not once we set the models up for machining this and do the prototype work. We're not greedy. We at the end of the day, we're here. ultimately we're here to build a brand with MOFAST. We're not here to make a load of profit overnight.
Yeah.
Because what we want to do is not just produce our own parts. We want other people to sell their parts through us as well. So we can handle the customer engagement, we can handle the marketing, we can provide the passion around, customizing or making changes to your vehicle. What we found is a lot of other vendors, they are truly experts in what they do, and we certainly won't want to compete with them. But we know that we hear lots and lots of talk online. Like I won't name any companies because I think it's not right. But
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I've tried numerous times to email them. Oh, he only picks the phone up on an evenings, and it's that kind of stuff I think that holds some people back, especially when you're handling a car like this. You might have the skills, but you might not have the confidence. And sometimes it's just a slight conversation with someone to build that confidence. So what we're saying is, look, if you've got a great product, you've got fantastic products for these cars, and there are people out there with a whole lot of passion for them. We're saying, you focus on making great products, we'll sell them for you.
Yeah.
And we'll provide that wrap around. So, the MOFAST product range at the moment is, it's stuff that we've cobbled together ourselves and worked on, but we want to see other people join as well. And we're quite happy to sell other people's products for them. That's why sometimes people might find it strange that I might be on a forum and someone asks me about making a carbon part for the car. But if I know somebody who does that carbon part very well already, then I will quote that person and say, go and speak to that person.
Yeah, there's no point duplicating it. Yeah, absolutely.
No, and I think if you do and you get into that kind of mindset, it creates I don't know, some of the ill feeling that you hear talked about now and again in the community. And I'm certainly not like that. My whole career has been about building things up. So I don't really want to get into a he said, she said kind of thing and all that
like
kind of stuff.
A bun fight. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no point. There are people out there that do exceptional products already, and we just won't go there. We would rather say to the potential customer that we have, say, look, go and speak to them. They're really good at what they do, and we endorse what they do at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. And show me some carbon fibre.
Oh, carbon stuff, right? What have we got? Right, so we've got
wheel arches as well. We've got them on the front of ours, and ours are the MK ones. They look absolutely gorgeous. But I've seen some of your. Yeah, there we go. That is it. Look at that.
That's quite deep, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but guys, if there's ever a money shot, it's actually this that's hidden behind. Notice the wing stays.
Carbon fibre wing stays.
Well.
Yeah.
Wow.
How much weight will that save? That will save a hell of a lot, I would imagine.
Well, I suppose at the end of the day, the biggest weight saving you can make on these cars straight away is to change to a lipo battery. But
yeah.
I think we did a bit of analysis on the WSCC forum where
we're running a Varley Red Top 15, which is 5.5 kilos.
Yeah, I'm running one of Jack Webb's lipos at the moment. The weight difference between the lead acid was phenomenal.
We lost about 14 kilos, I think it was, something like that. It was a stupid amount.
Yeah, I suppose with the carbon wing stays, it's unsprung weight at the end of the day. So
absolutely, yeah, and it's outboard. Yeah.
So I don't know, but our carbon wings, I think, they're just shy of 1,400 grams for the pair, and then the stays are just I can't remember. I've weighed them somewhere, and I'll post the pictures online. They're just super light compared to any of the steel original ones that are out there. So,
and let's face it, they look cool as well. They look really.
oh yeah, I think they look awesome. But you know, at the end of the day, I'll grab something else as well. So. But what we're finding out there in the community is that there's people who are really passionate about making products, and this is what I'll get to. Whilst the front cycle wings are supplied by MOFAST, they're manufactured on our behalf. I mean, this is a carbon fiber rear wing protector. Now this is made by AP Carbon, Ashley Ponder down near Birmingham kind of way, Coventry way, and they do exceptional carbon products as well. So, just to demonstrate, it's not all about MOFAST. We recognise that there's some amazing products out there already, and this is a prime example. This is something that we won't make because somebody else is making it really well.
Yeah. So, just a daft question on the whole process. How do you make something out of carbon?
I can't tell you, because what I can tell you is I'm really good at finding the people who are good at it.
Yeah.
But the people who are good at it tend to be people who are time served with that material. They tend to come out of industries that is part of their production process or something. And what's fascinating about carbon fiber is a lot of the knowledge doesn't really come from Formula One. Everyone has this perception that it's a Formula One material.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's not.
No.
A lot of the science and knowledge existed in the late 60s and came from various aerospace businesses.
Yeah.
I think everyone's familiar with the story about the McLaren MP4, and if you listen to the story of that and the person that's finally being attributed for the success of that car, he'll probably spill a little bit of beans on how carbon fiber entered into Formula One and how it became this wonder material. But I'd also like to point out is it's incredibly environmentally unfriendly.
Really?
And that's it's horrendous. It's awful. The resins, the manufacturing process. You've got heat. You've got chemicals. You've got all kinds of stuff involved in it. And then when you come to break it down, well, what do you do with that, guys? The only thing you can do with it is grind it into dust, and that dust is toxic. So this is why when we got involved in the plastic that's impregnated with that crushed up stuff, we thought, that's an incredible way of reusing it, putting it back into a product where it's stable, it's locked away, and it can go on to have another life beyond doing 200 miles an hour down the Mulsanne Straight or whatever they do with it these days.
Yeah.
So Paul, how do people get in touch with you as regards to these products and so on? Do you have a website? Do you have
so we have mofast.co.uk. So a lot of our products are on there, but there's also a lot of products that aren't on there because we're just struggling with time getting them on there, to be honest. But also, what we like is when people come to us and say, I think there's a market for this. Can you make the first one and then make a few more? And then we'll take that job on. We'll turn that into reality for people. So, people can get us on our Facebook page, and we're extremely responsive on that. Obviously, people can contact me directly on Facebook as well, or our phone numbers on our website as well. And we're happy to talk about any kind of project where somebody thinks there's something that can be made or be done better. For example, You know, I let me be clear. I have no problem making a part that's already out there if it and doing it well if somebody's doing an absolutely crap job of it. But when somebody's doing a great job of something, that's something that we won't touch. But you know, if somebody's doing an absolute hack job of it, then we'll take a look at it and see if we can do it better. You know. I don't know if you notice on the card that there's the short screen as well. This was a couple of people in the Westville community started to do this. So one of the things I didn't want to have to do when building the car was bother with heaters or windscreen wipers or washer jets and all that kind of stuff. So what we did was we cut the uprights down and dropped in some hardened polycarbonate across as a blade. And if it had been slightly higher, about this much higher, it would have failed the IVA because it would have been classed as a windscreen. But reading the manuals and getting the seat height right, we managed to get it through IVA like this, no problem. And the beauty of it is that it's not as efficient as an aero screen. However, it provides it flips the air up just enough over your head, but you can also see through it to see the front left wheel as well. So that's one of the reasons why we do it.
I get where I absolutely get where you're coming from on that. Yeah, and
so
there's a certain height where an aero screen actually becomes a windscreen, and then the windscreen then needs demisters and wipers. Yeah. And is it 60? I can't remember what it was back, but there's a certain distance, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. The distance is to do with where the notional IVA eye line is in comparison to the seat base and where this front edge aligns with it. But what we're doing is we're going to productize this. At the moment, this is a proto. At the end of the day, it's a hack job. You know, we manually cut this out with a hacksaw and shaved it in and you know, manually cut these stays. So what we've done is we've 3D scanned these uprights. We're going to take the wing mirror mounts off, so they're going to be very smooth and profiled, and we're going to print those in our carbon nylon. And then what we're going to do is sell that as a kit. So you get 2 uprights, and there's a 8mm. There'll be an 8mm hole mounting for, you know, race style mirrors.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is give you the option of having 2 different height blades to go in. So you can you'll always get the low blade because that'll give you an IVA pass, but you'll be able to spec 2 different height blades if you want as well
for wind deflection or whatever. Yeah, whatever takes your fancy.
If you want to tour around the Alps, you can have one this high if you want. If you want to get back on the track, you can have one this low. And all you do is just unbolt these side arms, slot another blade in, and away you go.
Sounds cool. I liking that.
Yeah, you know, some other, you know, I'm just seeing if I can get one off now. It's kind of like I have to see if I can unscrew this. So most people behind this nut, this bolt here, would run a large penny washer on the other side of this and a M6 nylock nuts. But you know, we're sourcing things like this that allow you to quickly undo that unit.
Yeah.
On the other side. So if you're ever out and you want to swap the blade around, you just quickly undo it.
What are those?
These are just M6 nylon. They're essentially nylon wing nuts.
Yeah.
You know,
so I can see it now.
Super light, and really, you know, if you're running a lightweight blade like this, you could probably get away with nylon bolts as well. To be fair. If you're running a big heavy glass screen, we won't advise it at all. But because we're doing everything lightweight, very thin, just enough to deal with the deflection, then you can get away with things like that and simplify a little bit.
Colin Chapman would approve of that.
Well,
lightweight, and I do remember reading somewhere, Trevor, as well. You might be interested. The Cobra windscreens weren't really fastened down. The idea was at speed they would flex backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them, and when they were racing them, a lot of them didn't actually have windscreens at all. They just had a wind deflector just for the driver.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
race
I think you see, it's interesting point that I'm sure we've all watched the Le Mans '66 film, and we know it's not historically accurate, but the bit where Shelby throws the spanner, or the spanner gets thrown at Shelby, I can't remember, but it cracks that windscreen, and that was obviously Miles was experimenting with different height windscreens at the time. Very early days of the 289 development, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
So the main place to find you then is on MOFAST.co.uk.
MOFAST.co.uk. The main place to find me is the MOFAST Facebook page. Really, just hit the message button there, and it's either me or Tom, who's my eldest lad. He kind of gets involved from time to time, answering questions on things he does understand.
Okay.
If it's something he doesn't, then it comes straight to me, of course.
Would you be going to play, shows like Stoneleigh or Newark or anything like that? Have you got any plans for that?
Or Kit Fest?
I was going to get to that, John.
the challenge for me right now, just to be really straight about it, is that MOFAST isn't the day job. It's something that we're growing to essentially. Hopefully, we can have something that when we retire, it's a nice little kind of turnover business, Start now instead of starting in a panic in a good few years. So balancing that with the two children as well is sometimes it's hard to get out and about, but we'll always try. Now, Stoneleigh, we might do, because we can partner with Simtech, who might go down this year.
Yeah, be good to see you.
Yeah, well, we'd love to get out and about as much as we can, and obviously the weather hasn't been great recently either, so that's kind of put a nail in things. But we will do more and more. One of the things that I was planning to do, and I know we've talked about this, Trevor, before, is that we might open up the workshop car park and just have a general meet-up down here if anybody wants to come down.
We can come up to that. I hear you doing a special at the moment as well. On your site to support Ukraine.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is an unbelievable situation that I don't think anybody of us could have imagined in our wildest dreams. Really, it's certainly a weird one. The one thing I've realised about aid, and I think a lot of people are realising it now with aid in certain countries, is that we can send all the teddy bears and all the spare clothes in the world, but actually it just ends up dumped somewhere.
Yeah.
What they need is cash at the end of the day for them to be able to spend in the way that they feel is necessary. So, like I said before, we don't make a massive amount of profit on our products as is. So what we do decide to see is, look, any of our carbon products at the moment, we'll donate 5% of the net profit as well.
That's very generous. Very generous of you.
To those charities. Well, I don't. I mean, it's not generosity. I just think it's a necessity, to be honest, right now. Regardless of where you stand politically with the subject, I think,
Well said.
I think at the end of the day, potentially over 1 million people being displaced from the homes is a big problem, regardless of where you stand on the subject. So it's about them. I'm trying to leave the politics out of it.
No, I salute you on that. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
I think just on that note, I think I think before people start commenting on subjects like this, particularly the politics, then it's good if people read a few books, you know.
Yeah.
I think that
Is
goes
where
with
I
any
stand on
subject,
it.
really, isn't it? Too many people are being spoon-fed
Well,
rather than
yeah,
actually looking into the history of things and making an informed decision. But you know, like you say, it's you want to try and stay away from the political side of things. It's just a question of gaining as much knowledge about a subject and then making an informed decision about that subject.
Yeah, it's like you know, it's like people who say that they're atheists, and then you ask them if they've ever read the Bible or the Quran or the relative book for Judaism, and they say, no, I've not read any of them, but I'm an atheist. And it's like, well, really, you're just ignorant because you've not really read the books. So, you know, if you don't read the information, how can you come to a balanced opinion on stuff? So, yeah, I think yeah, I just want to stay away from the politics. It's just purely.
Good. Let's get back to kit cars.
Yeah. Kit cars,
yeah.
kit cars, and carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we've been on here, Paul. We've been on here for nearly 40 minutes now.
It's been great, by the way, Paul.
Yeah.
Try my best.
We've now established where we can get hold of you. Are you going to be doing any more live streams like this again in the future, do you think?
I'm more than happy to do it. You know, I think the key with anything like this is communication. So, you know, if people can see that there's passion behind what we're doing, there's drive, there's energy, then people get on board with that, and they want to take the products on, and they'll also feedback in a sensible manner as well when things aren't quite right, because nothing's ever perfect.
No, exactly.
You know, things can and do go wrong. So, but if we engage in that way, then it makes us approachable. It means that people, when they do have a problem or a challenge, can approach that with us in a sensible way instead of, you know, the full-on rants on Facebook and this, that, and the other. So yeah, we're more than happy to do it, and I think we're starting to see a cultural shift in the community as well in doing this, because just look at what the guys are doing at MK at the moment. You know,
this is the way forward.
Yeah,
big fan of MK sports cars because I own one. So yeah, loving their live videos.
Whatsoever there, then, John. Really.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no bias there whatsoever. Then.
I think it's just based on what is it? Is it Rob and Sean? I can't remember what the names are. The gents that run things down
there. Sean and Neil.
Sean and Neil. I think what they're doing. It's Sean that's always in front of the camera, isn't it? His energy and his enthusiasm is very infectious, and I think
it comes across in spades.
Yeah, to the point where if I ever built another 7 again, I probably would build an MK.
Yeah,
just purely off that, you know, just the fact that they're so enthusiastic about what they're doing.
That's a good endorsement.
Yeah. And Neil is the same. He's got a wicked sense of humour.
Yeah, I mean, I just see what I see on YouTube at the end of the day, and I know there's a lot of time in the edit and what have you, but it all looks great. I just wish other brands that maybe had the sunlight at one point could understand that that's where they need to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think what we're seeing there is the, you know, decisions being made on a spreadsheet at the end of the day. That's ultimately what's going on in those kind of places, and that's business, unfortunately, in some cases. So, you know, on one hand you can say I don't like it, but on the other hand you can't really criticize it either, because, you know, they've got a business to run at the end of the day. But certainly love the enthusiasm from the MK boys. Absolutely, so infectious.
I'm a great believer that you're actually buying from people, irrespective of what the product is. You buy because you like the people you're dealing with, rather than the product. itself, and you tend to sway your direction to the people that you communicate well with. And if you come across well, then you're bound to sell more.
Yeah.
And that goes even, doorstepping onto, selling toothpaste, or in the old days, Hoovers, even knocking on the door. It goes back as far as that. It's down to personability. And if you come across well, which you have done tonight, Paul, it then instills more confidence in the company because of the people that are within that company.
Passionate.
Yeah.
You got to be passionate.
We just want to do more of it, at the end of the day. If you send me some dimensions for your roll hoops, for your Cobra, we'll work out exactly the right size ring that goes round them, and we'll put the 2.5 mil radius on there for you as well. So that the IVA inspector isn't going to flip out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I think I'll do that then, Paul. Thanks.
Yeah, please do, mate.
So, anything else? Anything at all left that you wish to purvey to everybody at the moment?
No, not at all. It's just
the company.
It's just, the only thing I need to reiterate is we're not just the products you see online. There's always something new to be developed. So we just need somebody to come forward and say, "Hey, I've got this idea." And generally, what we do if we think it's a good idea and we think it's got legs, what we generally do is do the first off for that person who came up with the idea. We do that at cost for them, so they get their item as cheap as we can possibly do it for them, and then we'll make our margin, because we do have to make a margin because the website costs money and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, that's the way of the world. And then we'll do that on the subsequent parts as well. But
I'll throw something at you as well then for the Cobra, because I'm finding it incredibly difficult to find anybody that actually makes the small splitters that go either side of the oil cooler at the bottom of the front nose cone. It comes down and then up and then around to the wings, doesn't it?
Okay.
And there's only one company I've found at the moment that do the splitter that go along the front.
Right.
Of the Cobra, and they are so expensive. It's unbelievable for what it is. It's just ridiculous.
Well,
so something else you might look into.
Absolutely. Send us a photograph. Send us some dimensions, detailed photographs. We can come back with designs. We can make rapid prototypes. Some of the 3D printers that we have access to can print over a meter and a half in size.
Wow, a meter and a half. Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, we can if required, we can print a whole front car bumper.
Okay. That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean that capital equipment doesn't belong with MOFAST. That's another business that we would ask to do that on our behalf, but we can we can source that. That's not a problem.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be. I don't think we're far off printing bodywork.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if you section the Westfield up, the only part we'd have a problem with is actually the side panel because of its length.
Because of the length. Yeah.
But we're really not far off printing that.
Wow.
Must cost a bit in materials, though, surely.
Oh yeah, it probably would. But then look at the price of Westfield's, GRP bodywork now.
I was just going to say, just look at the price of Westfield's. Full stop.
Well,
I think parts of those,
Westfield bodywork prices have gone through the roof. I don't know what's going on there, but it's expensive.
Well, GRP materials have gone through the roof, just like anything else at the moment.
Yeah, with the oil prices and God knows what. But don't talk about
maybe so. But I find it very interesting that somebody like Christoph Betrag out in Germany, wherever he is, he can make a nose cone out of carbon for a similar price.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit more than a GRP one from Westfield, I think there's some profiteering going on here. I really do. But like I said, they've got a business to run, and that's probably the margin that they need to make.
Yeah,
back
business
on
overheads. Yeah, premises costs, whatever. Yeah,
absolutely. You know,
I'm an accountant, by the way. For my sins.
You can't be
Someone's
John.
got to do it.
Too bloody
You know,
lively.
someone's got
Well,
to do it, John. You know, it's good if you can do it in isolation, I think. Or the problem is when you're the inventor and you're the accountant. So when you're in charge of innovation and accountancy both at the same time, I think that's where you end up with two different sides of the brain working.
Yeah, definitely
fighting each other.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up. We've been on there, 51 minutes now?
We've been on there nearly an hour. It's been great talking to you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
And yeah, I'm happy to do more live streams in the future. So yeah,
you certainly do more. Might get out and about and have a look at the Cobra and see what's going on there. See what we can do there. Might get up to your neck of the woods. And maybe we can do one there. You know, we're a little bit freer now, aren't we? Right now, this pandemic.
Well, exactly. Yeah, which
is gone.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
No, I was only trying to trigger someone else on the call, John.
I can't imagine who that would be. Okay, cheers, guys. It's been great chatting, and we'll catch up. We'll end it, wrap it up, and we'll catch up soon. Yeah.
All right. Take care, gents. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. Cheers, James. Cheers, Trevor.
Thanks again. Thanks, John. Good night.